Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Uyi Agmofwegbe, reminding our viewers that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nigecomsat. You can now download the Global Television Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has marked his swearing-in with a bold act of clemency, granting freedom and reduced sentences to 43 prisoners. Acting on the recommendations of the State Advisory Council on the prerogative of mercy, the governor ordered the immediate release of 8 convicts, while 15 death row inmates had their sentences commuted to prison terms. Another 20 serving life sentences were granted reduced jail terms. Starting on a quite sob-sterling note there, Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has directed the newly elected local government chairman to stay away from local government council secretariats in order to avoid a breakdown of law and order in the state. Adeleke also discharged the officials, charged them to work within the manifesto of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, noting that his administration is transforming the state for the better. The governor issued the directive while administering the oath of allegiance and oath of office on the 30 local government chairmen and vice chairmen at the state's house, as a government house in the state capital. Earlier, however, the chairmen and councillors had been presented with their certificates of return. Executive Secretary of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, architect Sonny Echono, has urged both federal and state governments to grant full autonomy to universities. Echono made the call during a convocation lecture titled University Autonomy and the Challenge of Quality Tertiary Education in Nigeria, held at the Federal University, Oye Ekiti, in Ekiti State. He said universities as ivory towers have 3 core mandates: teaching, research, and community service. Vice President Kashif Shettima has reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to supporting local farmers through targeted interventions. He said the government would intervene robustly to protect local producers, to reduce production costs, including single-digit loans. Speaking during the steering committee meeting of the Presidential Feed Systems Coordinating Unit at the Presidential Villa, Shettima, in a statement by spokesman Stanley Onkwocha, said the economic realities facing local farmers demand strategic government intervention to reduce production costs and support local farmers. Stakeholders under the auspices of Benue State APC Elders Forum have endorsed the removal of the Benue State Chief Judge by the State House of Assembly, noting that the resolution aligns with constitutional provisions. The forum, during the press briefing, also said it remains resolute in the support of government, assuring that Benue continues on its trajectory of development. Our correspondent in Makurdi, Felicity Nderi, now reports.
The resolution to remove the state's Chief Judge, Justice Maurice Ikpemisi, has continued to generate reactions from various sectors of the political landscape. Benue State All Progressive Congress Elders Forum, after a review of the circumstances and allegations surrounding the removal of the state's Chief Judge, insisted that the State House of Assembly acted within the provision of Section 292 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. Chairman of the forum, Senator Barnabas Gamadi, said the allegations entail the action, including misappropriation of funds and abuse of office, amounting to the grievous misconduct.
We stand in solidarity with the Assembly on this decision, especially given the serious allegations that necessitated such action, including mismanagement of a sum of 669,984,000 in less than 1 year.
The group also commended the State House of Assembly for sanctioning the members who attempted to ridicule the image of the House after participating in the voting process for the removal of the Chief Judge.
Benue State House of Assembly has one leadership, enjoys full quorum at all sittings, and has continuously been performing its functions. There is therefore no merit whatsoever in Senator Abamoro's invitation to meddlesomeness.
While reaffirming their resolve in supporting the governor and his good work, the APC Elders Forum urged members of the public to focus on providing quality representation to the people of Benue and shy away from destabilizing the peace of the state. In Makudi, Felicity.
Well, thank you so very much, Felicity, for your reporting. Let's return to Osun State now, where the governor Adeleke has commended President Bola Tinubu for supporting a rule of law that enabled the local government election conducted in the state to go hitch-free. Adeleke spokesperson Alawale Rashid, in a statement, said the governor disclosed this after casting his vote, where he noted that the president is a true Democrat with huge democratic credentials, and stated that his administration has all along been very supportive and collaborative with the federal government. Meanwhile, reports had come through that Osun State's election the local government council election was marked by low turnouts as well as absence of security operatives in polling units, which highlighted the exercise. Although some wards and polling units witnessed a large turnout of voters, majority of the units where voting took place recorded low turnouts compared to the last governorship election in the state. Elsewhere, Plateau State Governor Caleb Mufwang has suspended all mining activities in the state over security concerns. In an executive order, the governor said the suspension, which is with immediate effect, subsists until further notice. He stated that his administration will carry out a holistic review of the security situation in all the mining areas in the plateau and ensure an appropriate community development agreement to address the socio-economic contributions to the rights holders. Minister of Regional Development Abubakar Momo says the federal government has no plan to scrap the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC), saying the commission remains a crucial part of the government's regional growth agenda. Speaking in Abuja during the 2025 ministerial briefing, he noted that the defunct Niger Delta Development Ministry was integrated into the broader Ministry of Regional Development. He said the ministry is providing 250,000 startup grants to 300 youths who completed exceptional training in 2023 in the Niger Delta region. As part of ongoing efforts to modernize the nation's custodial facilities, the federal government now says President Bola Tinubu has approved the relocation of 29 correctional centers across the country. Minister of Interior Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo stated this during the commissioning of 39 newly acquired vehicles and 5 bullet-resistant guard boots for the Nigerian Correctional Service in Abuja. Tunji-Ojo noted that many of the existing correctional facilities, such as those in Suleja, Niger State, and Ikoyi, Lagos State, were established in the 19th century and have become outdated. On a side note, a fatal crash around Ayetoro on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway has claimed 9 lives and injured 3. The accident, which reportedly occurred at about 5:30 a.m., involved a Toyota bus with a number UYY165ZY and a truck with registration number DKA244XC. The bus driver was said to have lost control and rammed into the stationary truck. This is Global Television. You're watching the live broadcast of the Midday News with Uyi Agmofwebe. We'll have more stories for you right after this break. Please stay with us. Thank you everyone for staying with us now on the news. The second part of these news broadcasts returns with business, where there is looming fuel scarcity in Lagos and other parts of the country as tanker drivers have stopped fuel loading over alleged harassment by officials of the Lagos State government and the Federal Ministry of Transportation. Telecommunications companies have raised concerns over a possible network blackout as the strike by petroleum tanker drivers could disrupt diesel supply, threatening the operations of mobile and internet services. However, Lagos State government says it was only enforcing its e-call-up system, warning that attempts to blackmail the state government would not work. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Olayemi Cardoso, has restated the bank's commitment to boosting economic cooperation between Nigeria and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. According to a press statement from the regulatory bank, Cardoso made this known during a courtesy visit to the CBN headquarters by the Saudi Arabian ambassador to Nigeria, Faisal bin Ibrahim Al-Ghamdi, and his delegation. The statement noted that Cardoso emphasized the Apex Bank's dedication to fostering partnerships across key sectors that drive economic growth. The federal government has revealed that 15 billion naira out of the 18 billion naira meant for the first phase of compensation to owners of demolished properties along Section 1 of the Lagos-Calabar Highway has been disbursed. It disclosed this in Lagos, 15 billion naira. The National Union of Electricity Employees has issued a 7-day ultimatum to the management of the Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company to return to the negotiation table regarding the service no longer required letters given to some affected staff. The union, in a statement issued by Zonal Organizing Secretary 1 Northwest Zone, Ayuba Pukat, accused the management of going ahead to serve the affected staff the new letters despite talks between the union and management. The federal government has announced plans to establish a gene bank to preserve the genetic makeup of indigenous livestock breeds and ensure their sustainability for future generations. Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Meha, made the announcement during the 2025 ministerial press briefing in Abuja. Meha stated that the gene bank would enable the country restore its indigenous genetic resources, which are naturally disease resistant. The African Development Bank Group, AFDB, has taken a significant step in its fight against corruption and financial crime by signing a letter of intent with the International Criminal Police Organization, also called Interpol. This collaboration marks the first time a multilateral development bank has partnered with Interpol to enhance efforts against financial crimes. This partnership will strengthen collaboration between the bank's Office of Integrity and Anti-Corruption on the one hand and Interpol's Financial Crime and Anti-Corruption Center on the other. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, has reiterated the importance of consumer data protection, warning that financial institutions will be held accountable for any breach of customer information. This comes as part of the Commission's broader efforts to enforce compliance and protect consumer rights in Nigeria's financial sector. In a statement posted on its official X handle, the Commission said the roundtable discussion was geared towards equipping banking stakeholders with essential compliance knowledge and to strengthen self-regulation, enhance consumer protection, and address industry-specific challenges. The federal government has unveiled plans to revamp the National Veterinary Research Institute in Vom, Plateau State, with a target of producing 1.2 billion vaccine doses annually to better meet the country's vaccine needs and address zoonotic diseases. Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Meha, announced this during the 2025 Ministerial News Conference in Abuja. Meha highlighted that the institute, which had been in existence for more than 100 years, currently operates with outdated equipment and technology, which is insufficient to meet the vaccine requirement for all animal species in the country. Let's turn to international business now, where Apple is taking the unprecedented step of removing its highest-level data security tool from customers in the United Kingdom after the government demanded access to user data. Advanced Data Protection (ADB) means only account holders can view items such as photos or documents they have stored online through a process known as end-to-end encryption. However, earlier this month, the UK government asked for the right to see the data, which currently not even Apple can access. On the foreign scene, an American Airlines flight traveling from JFK Airport to Delhi was forced to divert to Rome after a bomb threat was made on board. The flight, which had 199 passengers and 15 crew members, had been 2 hours from its destination when it was rerouted over the Central Asian country of Turkmenistan. Reports say the airline confirmed the diversion was due to a possible security issue. French President Emmanuel Macron will meet with his U.S. counterpart Donald Trump in Washington, saying he will present proposals for action to counter the Russian threat in Europe and ensure peace in Ukraine. Macron is hoping to persuade Trump when the two leaders meet and the United States. Trump sent shockwaves around Europe when he declared his readiness to resume diplomacy with Russian President Vladimir Putin and hold talks without the involvement of European nations or Kiev. Meanwhile, the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, has placed no fewer than 1,600 employees worldwide on administrative leave. The leave was announced in a statement titled Notification of Administrative Leave on the agency's website. It noted that concurrently, USAID is beginning to implement a reduction in force that will affect approximately 1,600 personnel with duty stations within the United States. Let's talk sport for a minute now. Former Liverpool defender Jamie Carragher has sparked controversy after dismissing the Africa Cup of Nations as not a major tournament while discussing Mohamed Salah's chances of winning the Ballon d'Or this year. Speaking after Liverpool's 2-0 victory over Manchester City on Sunday, Carragher suggested that Salah's nationality and Egypt's international record could hinder his chances of claiming football's most prestigious individual award. He says he thinks the problem is the fact that he is with Egypt and he is probably not playing in the major tournament. Nigeria's male senior basketball team, the Tigers, have conquered the fear of missing out on this year's FIBA Afro-Basket Championship after they were declared qualified for the tournament before their last qualifying match against Cape Verde. The Tigers were built to face Group B leaders Cape Verde in their last game of the second phase of the qualifier, needing another win to boost their chances. According to FIBA, regardless of how they finish the qualifiers, all the countries in Group B, which comprise leaders Cape Verde, Libya, Nigeria, and Uganda, will qualify for the tournament, in Angola as the best